Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and it has been weeks, if not a couple months, since we've been able to work on this grapple. And I'm excited because today we're going to have a little bit of time to work on it. So I think in the last video we left off, we got the cylinder mounted in, we welded in this support and checked the range of motion. And I'm pretty sure I was happy with it at the end of the last video. But now I've been doing some thinking, and I might want to change that up a little bit. So I think we're going to start with looking at the range of motion again and see what kind of adjustments I want to make. So when I was first setting up these arms with the bucket, I made them on the same line as the back of the bucket when the cylinder was fully compressed. And I was hoping that once I pivoted it down, that it would bring the arms straight out across. And really, it's pretty close to straight across. I think it's up just a little bit. The issue I have with this now is this bracket here is actually just outside, I think, the cutting edge of the bucket, and I really want this to be inside of it or at least flush. So I think what I'm going to do is move this back, which will drop the arms down a little bit at full extension, making it close a little bit tighter. It won't open all the way up. It'll probably open more on an angle this way, which is fine. I think I'd rather have this inside the bucket and have it close a little bit tighter. So we're going to cut this bracket out. We're going to shift it back a little bit and weld it back in. So I don't really have a good plan on how I'm going to attack this. I think what I'm going to try to do is take this wider stock and I'm going to clamp that to this bracket here, and then I'm going to use the jack stand here to get that to whatever height and distance I want that. Then I'll swing the arms over, square everything up, and tack it in. And I'm hoping that's going to work out all right for me. Okay, so I got this all clamped up now. I think what I'm going to do is run it through its range of motion before I tack it in, as long as the clamps will hold it together. Because I think I might be a little bit too low now, so I just want to see what this looks like when it's fully compressed. Nope, not holding. Well, that failed. As soon as I started picking up, the whole thing just moved. It doesn't have enough, clamps don't have enough pressure to push the cylinder in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift that up another notch on the jack stand, make that up a little bit higher, reclamp it all together, and then tack it in, and we'll see what we end up with. Catch up with you when I get that all set up. Alright, so I raised the jack stand up, another 2 clicks on there. I got everything squared back up, tightened back down. That actually brought this edge pretty close to the front edge of the bucket, which I like. And I think what we'll do is we'll grab the welder, we'll throw a couple tacks on here, check the range of motion again, and hopefully I'm happy with it. Alright, so now we got that all tacked together, we can do a quick range of motion test. And I think that's looking pretty good. I'm a little concerned that my legs coming down are going to stick out too far beyond the bucket, but I think it's going to be okay. I think we're going to go with it. I think that's the best we're going to get. So now the next thing I need to do is get my vertical piece here to finish out the arms, and I'm not going to do any kind of measuring or any scientific figuring or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and I want to have the edge of the bottom kind of right at the cutting edge of the bucket, and then I'm going to line the top edge up with where my angle for my support meets, and I'm just going to trace those lines. So now that I got my two lines made, I'll just make these two cuts, and then I'll transfer those over to this other side, make another one of these, and I think we'll have our pieces. So I got my two pieces cut out. They'll sit something kind of like that. And I think what I'm going to do at some point too is I'm going to cut the bottom back at an angle this way, so it creates kind of more of a point to grab stuff. But I'm not going to worry about that right now at this second. I can always add that later. So now we're going to get these two pieces tacked in, and I'm just going to use a scrap piece of stock to hold everything in place. So I like the motion. These arms do stick out a little bit beyond the bucket, which isn't ideal. But I do like the way it comes down and meets the edge here. So now that we got the whole arm kind of configured, the next thing I need to do is add a support in down here. And I'm just going to cut to the same length as this one. So before I go ahead and start making all the pieces and fabricating the pieces that I still have left to fabricate for the other arm, I'm going to make this joint a little bit better. I think I'm going to add a gusset here in this corner just to give it some more strength, and then I also want to take material out of here and kind of radius this corner a little bit just to kind of give it more of a finished look. And I think that's going to just really tie all this in together and make it look a lot better and a lot stronger. So let's get going on that. Alright, so to cut this gusset, I'm not going to do any measuring or angle finding or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of put this up on here and just kind of move it around until I'm happy with what it looks like. And I think I'm kind of happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead, cut that out, and we'll see what it looks like in there. I think that's going to look really good. I like that. I like that a lot. Once we kind of radius this off, I think that's going to look really sharp and really finished. So I'm going to go ahead, cut out a few more of those since I have a template here, and then we'll tack these guys in. Well, I think that radius on there makes a huge difference, just completely changes the look of this whole thing. I think one more thing I might do is add another one of these supports in here. Not for any structural reason, this will be plenty strong, but I think aesthetically, it's just going to look a lot nicer having that extra piece in there. And also have to radius this, and then I think this arm will be done. But I'm out of time for today, so I'll have to work on that next time. Just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.